We heard comments, Peter Schrager just alluded to it, from President and CEO John Mara on Odell Beckham. He said, quote, "When you're coming off a season where you're 3-13 and played as poorly as we played, I wouldn't say anyone is untouchable." That was his quote. Odell is untouchable, believe it or not.
Don't believe it. I don't think anybody's untouchable. Elliot Ness, Nate, let's go back to the year 2005.
Okay.
The Minnesota Vikings traded Randy Moss in the middle of his career for Napoleon Harris and a 7th-round pick. They said, "We're done with you." He had 30 touchdowns combined the prior 2 seasons. We don't want to be in business with you anymore.
You're right.
Okay?
You're right.
Now, maybe they regretted that.
I remember
but the
that
fact
day.
is, Nate, you played with him. No one is untouchable, especially in a team like New York. No one is above the team. He's just unguardable, so it's going to be very hard to do, but I don't believe a player is untouchable. I've seen all-time greats get traded in their prime.
All right, so I'm glad you brought that up. I'll take you back to that day. I remember hearing about the trade and thinking to myself, I'm going into my 3rd season, and we just traded away the best receiver in the world, and the coaching staff tried to come to a young Nate Burleson who just came off a 1,000-yard season, but really very aware of who I am as a person. I knew exactly what I saw when I looked in the mirror, and I wasn't Randy Moss. And they tried to look me in the face and say, "Nate, listen, the reason we had confidence in making this trade is because we have confidence in you, and you are going to be our #1 receiver." And on the outside, I'm like,
"What did you say?"
"All right, coach, that's cool, that's cool." Inside, I'm like, "That got to be the dumbest thing you ever said to me."
So they went to Tito Jackson, said, "Michael's gone. You're going to sing lead now,
Yes.
Tito.
So,
ABCs, you can do it."
Tito,
I know that moonwalk looked like you got gum on your shoe, but still, you can be Mike. But that's how I felt. But getting back to untouchables, though.
Is this the same thing now, though? Because you guys have to tell me, is this the same caliber situation right now where Odell is standing after
Moss was a better player than Odell is right now.
So we've seen this before.
But Odell's he's at one hell of a start to his career. I will say this: I was looking at untouchables. I was trying to refresh my mind.
Elliot Ness.
You mentioned Elliot Ness. So who's Elliot Ness? Is it John Mara? He's Elliot Ness. Well, then that makes OBJ. Capone. Yes, I said it. He is Al Capone, and he is ruling this city with an iron fist with all of his antics. And Kay, we were talking during the commercial break, and oftentimes our commercial breaks are more intriguing conversations.
Stay there, so I don't know why you're talking about them right now.
I'm going to bring it up because I thought it was a very thoughtful conversation that a lot of people have. You're talking about Odell, and there's a group of people, not us here at the table, that think he is completely out of control and you got to get rid of him. And then you said, it's crazy that people will start this narrative and continue this conversation when he hasn't done anything extremely bad. We're not talking assaults. We're not talking DUIs. We're not talking beating up guys in a bar. We're not talking anything with women. We're just talking about a guy that might be at the wrong place at the wrong time because of his own fault, as we saw in the video, or might do some things on the field that might attract too much attention, or might just live like a rock star outside of the field. But you can't look at him and say he's a bad guy, because Odell isn't a bad guy. And the reason why he's untouchable is because he's not a bad guy, and he's a phenomenal football player. So, yes, Odell is untouchable.
Trace, they just want him to grow up or what?
Yeah, that was a great, and he's right. I mean, there's few talents like that, but Kyle's also right in that we've seen some greats get touched. Here's the deal: not only is he touchable, he's very touchable, if that makes sense, because of his contract situation. He's in the final year of his contract, meaning his rookie deal. He's only making $8 million a year. Let me put that in context for you. Allen Robinson, nice wide receiver, is going to make $14 million a year. Sammy Watkins just got signed to a $16 million. So if you're a team who's looking to win now, at $8 million a year, we could bring on Odell Beckham, and it might be a trade that we have to do. What do we have to give up? Sign me up. I think he becomes a very, very desirable contract to take on for a team that wants to win now, that has that small window. Now, Ian came on and said he won't take the field without a new contract. Okay, I'd rather have Odell Beckham for the next 5 years than any of these rookies coming out of the draft. So if we have to come to a new deal with Odell Beckham, let's figure it out. So to me, the fact that John Mara said at any player on our roster, and they just shipped off Jason Pierre-Paul 1 year into a multi-year contract, there's no one is untouchable after a 3-13 season. It makes it so captivating because here's the biggest rock star in our game, Odell Beckham, in the biggest market in our game, New York City, with maybe the most beloved franchise in the league with the New York Giants amongst fans. And your owner's coming out on the first day of the league meeting and saying, no one's untouchable. Let the bidding begin. I'm here for it. I love this stuff. This is why the offseason's amazing.
And the message clearly sent. We'll see how that all shakes out.